And then she says,
Candles.
then she says that they would get extra linens, and we've heard this story, but she said that because we heard before that there were extra linens because
There's dookie on the sheets.
So what she said was she was actually made to have freak offs during her period, and so there would be blood on a lot of the sheets. And she said she didn't want to do that, but she was being made to do that allegedly. And she also alleged that there'd be urine on the sheets, and we've heard testimony about the urine and why those things happened allegedly. And baby oil, she said that they would oil up so much. That was like a big thing for Puff allegedly. Like you had to be oiled. That every 5 minutes they were like just re-oiling because.
He wants you to look like a shiny suit.
Yeah, because it glistens, and I guess it's the sexiness of baby oil on.
He wants you to glisten like them shiny suits he used to wear in the 90s.
This is so sad.
I guess so. And then when we were talking about the urine, she talked about that in one of the free calls because they had asked her, we opened up our testimony or our opening statement, the prosecutors talking about, you alleging that there was a male escort that was made to pee, or I'm sorry, that was made to urinate on you.
You can say pee. Same thing.
Urinate on you. Can you detail that? So she starts to detail that, and she says that at one point she was choking, obvious reasons. And they asked, well, why didn't you just ask them to stop? And when I say them, she updated us and let us know.
Who's the attorney, Riley Freeman? This is why wouldn't you just move out the way? That's what he asked her for.
Basically, they just asked, like, at this, because it didn't sound like she was being held against her will at that point, like physically. So they're like, well, why would you just, because she said she laid down with her hands up a lot of times when that was happening because she didn't like it and it was a lot going on. And she said that not only would the escorts do it, allegedly Puff would join in as well. And she said when it would get to a point where it was too much for her, sometimes he would tell the escorts, Puff would tell the escorts allegedly, like, yo, all right, let's stop, let's chill. So they asked her, like, why wouldn't you just tell them to stop yourself? And she said, I mean, I'm laying on the floor, and allegedly intoxicated by all these things, and it's two men standing over me. What am I going to do? So I just laid there
with pee.
Yeah. And so
the reason they ask that question is because they know the defense is going to ask that question, so they try to make sure that they ask questions that the defense are asked to, make it more comfortable.
Yeah, but she broke the freak offs down in steps as well. She said that the first step was there was like masturbation, and they would have to do masturbation. It would be her and the escort, and she would have to talk out loud and describe what she was seeing. She would have to be very descriptive because allegedly Puff would want to hear that.
She said he would be blindfolded, right?
No, not all the time, because once they got more comfortable with the escorts, from what it seems like she's describing, the blindfolds would come off and all that stuff.
You got mad notes, Lauren. I need to see those.
Yeah, and they're highlighted. I had to organize them better because I felt like yesterday I had a lot of information that I didn't get, so I organized them better. Highlights. I made notes in the back of important points to get to in here. You can read these notes.
Lauren is in the courtroom. She's in the actual courtroom.
That was a new notebook. At the beginning.
I bought a second one yesterday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that first step was the descriptive foreplay, and then step 2 is the touching. Now, step 2, she alleges, is that's when all the baby oil comes out. Step 3 is oral, and she says that a lot of times she would rush to get to the oral because she just wanted to get it over with, because she kept making a point of she didn't want to do this. She just was doing it because she was so in love, and she said she didn't want him to go and do it with anybody else. Now, step 4 was the actual intercourse where they would engage in sex, and she said that sometimes Puff would just watch allegedly, but then she said other times he might join in if they were really comfortable with an escort. So that would look like her giving Puff head and allegedly, or wait, I can't.
No, you can't say that part.
That would look like her giving Puff fellatio.
Fellatio, yes.
And the other escort having sex with her at the same time. Now, she did give us an update I didn't know if I needed. She said that a lot of times after they would finish, the escorts would have a happy ending, and Puff would make her take that happy ending and rub it on his nipples, and then they would engage in whatever they were going to do, just Cassie and Puff allegedly.
So his man milk on Puff's nipples?
That's what Cassie is alleging, that she that Puff liked her to rub it on his chest and on his nipples.
Jesus.
And
so chocolate covered nipples with a semen drizzle.